Hey guys, I'm going to go over my creative curriculum review that I did, research paper, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to make this pretty brief, kind of reading off of some things that I wrote and then just kind of discussing some things from the rest of the paper. So an overview of the curriculum. Specifically, the content is sold by Teaching Strategies. It is one of the most popular curriculums used today in the pre-K setting, but can be used from birth to third grade. They sell to private schools, public schools, child care facilities, family care as well. They focus on the whole child. It's project-based, teacher-led small and large group activities. There's 11 interest areas that utilize working with families, organizing the classroom, and child development. This curriculum helps teachers to develop student portfolios, maintain them, and create individual plans for their students. It comes with all kinds of things that are made to be implemented in centers for the most part. Our creative curriculum was made in 1965 when Head Start was formed by the U.S. government. Diane Dodge is the founder. Basically, she was put in charge of coming up with a curriculum for like 900 students, I think, and came up with this. And it just took off, and they've been developing it ever since. They have actually applied it to virtual social distancing regulations as well, which I thought was pretty cool. The studies can last for up to 4 weeks. They include daily resources, Mighty Minutes, teaching guides and cards, books, including big books, discussion cards, posters, and organizers. They also have partners that provide developmentally appropriate classroom materials that can coexist with the curriculum. And they also suggest like ways to arrange the classroom environment to work best with the curriculum as well, which I thought was pretty cool. So we're going to skip down to the pros and cons here somewhere. Okay. So as far as support, it was found that this curriculum is as effective as any of the other popular ones. Let's see. They meet most standards. They use state standards, and they also have their own standards and regulations that they follow as well, but they do adapt it for each state standards as well. For the ones that I researched, there was one study that was trying to find out if this curriculum was beneficial for at-risk students, and it did find that it is effective for at-risk students. The reason she started her research was the statistics weren't changing in her state, and she got curious that the curriculum was what the problem was. So she started to research it, and she found that the problem was actually that teachers did not feel competent and were not trained well enough to be able to implement the curriculum in the classrooms appropriately. And she found this out through interviews, and that was the outlier that was causing it not to be as effective as intended. And similarly, there was another study that tried to see how this curriculum affected students' personalities, and they found that there was multiple factors. It wasn't just much the curriculum that was affecting personalities. Any curriculum is going to affect personalities, but it was, there was nurture, nature, and then also the teacher readiness was a big factor that they found too. And both of them suggested that administrators work with staff to get them more well-trained and competent in this curriculum before applying it in the classroom. And the third study just was applying this to WWC standards, if you know what that is, and found that it applies to their standards as well. So really the only opposition was that teachers need to be prepared and trained in how to use this curriculum instead of just being thrown in the classroom with something they've never seen or tried before, in order for this to be effective. So let's see if there's anything else. Yep, so most of them found there was no significant positives, like this one wasn't way more effective than others, and there was no significant negatives as either. So it was just as effective as all the rest out there. And it does apply well to the NAEYC. Stuff. Sorry. It is comprehensive, evidence-based. Children are active and engaged. Goals are clear because it follows state objectives, plus they give their own goals. The content is mainly learned through investigation and play, which was a big one. And then this curriculum does use the strategy of scaffolding, that word. Sorry, my brain is fried at this point. But it builds upon prior learning and experiences, pushes kids a little bit. But, it's very much also relies on teachers' observations of each student and being able to apply the activities one-on-one with them based on their abilities and their comprehension. So it's very flexible curriculum. But yeah, it's highly sought over. It's actually still used in Head Starts today. So I highly recommend it. I was impressed by it all. Happy holidays.